Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host Second Soundwave and it's time for some Gunpla news. Yesterday we got hit straight in the face with a brand new episode, the very first episode in fact, of Gundam Build Divers. And I'm bringing this up today in Gunpla News because we're going to be talking about the intro for this show, and no, not the fact that the song itself is nowhere near as awesome as the previous Build Fighters songs, but instead we're going to be talking about what we see in this intro. Because if there's one rule in anime, it's that the intro always spoils something. There are several new faces in the Divers intro that we haven't seen any kind of kit confirmation for yet, but since it's pretty likely we're going to see models of them, I thought it'd be fun to go through them anyways. So the first one that caught my eye was this big red guy right here. For a little bit of context, you see in the intro like a kind of close-up of the face of this guy with like a kind of hooded cloak over him, so you can't really see his eyes. You just see like this very ominous looking grin, and then the camera pulls away, and like the screen's like a little bit glitchy, a little bit red, a little ominous looking, and there's just this big Gundam looming over him. And all this happens over the course of, I would say, maybe 3/4 of a second. So this is a really quick blink and you'll miss it moment. I can't tell quite what Gundam this is based off of, but if I go off the head alone, I'd say it looks like it's probably got a bit of a stray in it. Just like in, well, I guess pretty much every Gundam intro, there's that one part in the intro where you kind of see all the main characters in front of their Gundams. So we see, you know, the 00 Diver, we see the H2 Magnum, we see some other ones that we've already seen, and then we see a few new faces like this Ultron Gundam that appears to be both a tiger and a wolf at the same time. I can't say I'm liking this particular redesign of the Ultron, but if we do get a kit of this, that opens the door for an HGUC Gundam Ultron TV version, and that is something that I would be very interested in. In a similar shot, we also see a brand new Iron-Blooded Orphans Gundam for Gundam Build Divers. Yeah, that's right, we have IBO in Build Divers. This looks like an all-new Gundam frame, although it clearly does take some design inspiration from both Gujion and Barbatos. My suspicion is this is probably not going to be called like, you know, Gujion Heavy Hammer or Barbatos Crusher or anything like that. It's probably going to be named after another demon that we haven't seen yet in IBO. I'm really interested to see where they take this suit, and judging by the way they show it in the intro, it looks like the pilot of this one is going to be a part of the main cast. So hopefully this is a Gundam that we get to see a lot more of. Finally, we see another one of those kind of samurai-ized SD Gundams. The pilot of this one's this kind of ninja girl, so I'm guessing this one's going to do all sorts of cool ninja stuff. It's got a big red beam scarf, and there's not really much else I can comment on here since I'm really unfamiliar with SD Gundams. Moving on to some, well, actual Gunpla news, we have box art for many of the new April releases. We got the GM3 Beammaster looking very cool, firing off his cannon. Gundam FSD looking very cool, firing off his cannon. The Gundam Ground Type looking very cool, about to fire his cannon. The Tolkis standing around and not firing his cannon. And finally the 00 Diver, who forgot about this month's theme and didn't bring along his cannon for the photo shoot. In all seriousness though, we got some pretty great box art this month. I'm especially a fan of the Gundam Ground Type box art. 8th MS Team box art never fails to impress. Looping around quickly to the Tolkis, I want to show you guys the inner frame of this kit because we've just got some new pictures of it, and it is an all-new frame, as many of you might have guessed. It looks like they're doing a similar thing to what they did with the Unicorn Gundam, where only parts of the frame are going to be pre-assembled and the rest is going to be constructed by the user. It seems like this might be a direction they're going to be taking with future real grade kits, since it seems like they're kind of getting away from the earlier fully pre-built inner frames of the first few real grades. And the more this line goes on, it seems like they're making them more and more into just miniature master grades. So if I remember correctly, in the last episode when I was talking about the Bayerland, I said that there was only one Next Phase Project exhibit prototype left that we hadn't seen release confirmation for. Well, I can now safely say that that number has been brought down to 0. This is the Gundam Pixie, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks awesome. The main weapons for this kit are really cool. They're basically Uzis, but he's also got like these beam daggers, and you can kind of like combine them together so the daggers are like coming out of where the magazines would be on the gun. He has these fantastic looking beam saber slash effects for his swords. I really think these are some of the best looking effects I've seen on a high grade. And the mobile suit itself is really cool. I wasn't so sure about this design when I saw like just the grayed out prototype images, but seeing this thing in full color, fully realized in front of me, it looks awesome. Oh, you know what the best part about this kit is? It's a P Bandai exclusive. Oh look, a cameo by the high grade Efreet. I'm sure that's going to be a retail kit that everyone will be able to easily get a hold of at any time they want to get it. But that's as much as I want to talk about the Premium Bandai web shop today, so let's look at some stands instead. This is the Tricolor Action Base 4. This is one of the new Gundam Base Tokyo exclusives coming up. Yes, another exclusive, but hey, at least it's not P Bandai. And we've got another Action Base exclusive to Gundam Base Tokyo, the Action Base 5 Unicorn Edition. The base plate is white, the stand arm is clear pink, and it actually looks really cool. I mean, I don't think there's any kit that you could feasibly display this with outside of the Unicorn Gundam, but it's still a really nice looking stand. And wrapping out the Gundam Base Tokyo trilogy for tonight, we have the Master Grade Crossbone Gundam Extra Finish version. It's a Master Grade Crossbone Gundam with extra finish. Here is a real quick look at a completely unpainted, snap-built, high-grade Leo, and from the looks of it, this kit will use absolutely no stickers whatsoever because the color separation for this thing is absolutely perfect. Seriously, they even got the 2 colors on the rifle. That is amazing for 1,000 yen high grade. We've also got some really impressive looking unpainted pics of the Master Grade F91 2.0. I can't get over how awesome this kit looks. Look at it. Just look at it. The only thing it's missing is if they somehow found a way to mold in the F91 on the shoulder like they did with the Tekkanon logos on the Barbatos Lupus, that would have been cool. Absolutely unnecessary, but still pretty cool. I also really like that shade of blue on the cannons. That's a nice blue. As usual, we have Dengeki Hobby to thank for those stock-built images, and we can also thank them for just this absolutely lovely piece of nightmare fuel they've provided us with. Thanks, guys. And finally, just to wrap up the night, we have some real proper official images for the Gashapla kit things. I think I've told you guys about these before. I don't know if I mentioned them in Gunpla News, but I do know I mentioned them in the H2 Magnum unboxing, so you can go check that out. There's probably going to be like a card up in the corner if I remember to put it in there. So what Gashapla are is they appear to be little mini-pla of SD Gundams. I'm guessing they're going to be in some sort of gashapon capsule thing because that's what they're called. So we have this one new Gundam called the Super Shock Gundam, and then we have SG versions, that's what they seem to be calling these, of the Gundam Sharzaku 2, New Gundam, and Sazabi. And then in true Decepticon fashion, they all combine to form one bigger Gundam. It's silly, it's really silly, it looks super dumb, but I love it anyways. It also looks like you can take the arms off the combiner form and put them on a Build Divers kit. That's gonna do it for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Gunpla News. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you're new to Channel 2S, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.